Please be prepared. Start saving seeds, start storing water, start storing non-perishable food items.
Press the button, take me out of my misery. I'm not about to sit here and be making skunk meat. Somehow he's making skunk meat and eating beans every day. That's not a life.
Rapidly rising energy costs in our country. People are already talking about cutting their own power over the summer to save money on their utility costs.
Prepping is a privilege, and y'all out here fear-mongering and scaring people, telling them, well, you need 6 months of food saved up. Who got 6 months of food saved up? Most people don't have 6 days worth of food. They don't have 6 hours worth of food.
Stock up on rice, pasta and oats, peanut butter, canned meats, and shelf-stable milk or alternatives. Nothing extreme, just enough to avoid last-minute grocery runs if prices jump or shelves get picked over. Please have basic emergency or backup items, not because something will happen, but because it's smart to have.
You know, honestly, every time it comes down to the point where I'm about to make a video about prepping, I always second guess if I should do it or not, because sometimes people would take it literally as, oh, you know, you're trying to fearmonger them. Like, they are not prepared to listen to that because it scares them. It makes them feel like, oh my God, something bad is about to happen. But really, the intentions behind these videos are not to fearmonger someone. I'm actually very hyper aware of the fact that not a lot of people have money, and not a lot of people have that privilege to have all this disposable income where they can be like, oh, let me take my money to go buy or prep some things in the house. No, it's just to show people who have the intention or actually plan or want to, you know, prep, and, you know, just be a little bit aware of what's going on, of the possibility of things happening. Maybe if you can just spare a little change, you know, to buy some things and keep in your house, just in case things become bad. And that's for someone who actually have the intention of living or want to survive if things become bad, because some people actually don't plan on surviving, and that's fine. We're going to be checking out these videos, but before we get right into these videos, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
This is what it means for you, the average American just trying to live their life. Okay, if this continues, most Americans will feel it through rising gas prices, higher cost of living, and economic uncertainty. Here is what you should have right now. This isn't about fear or overreacting. It's about being a little ahead instead of a little behind. Think of it like this. If prices rise or supply slow down, you've already taken care of what you need. I would like for you all to start here with everyday essentials. Focus on things you already use regularly. Water, especially a few days worth for each person. Toiletries, such as toilet paper, soap, toothpaste, feminine care products. Include cleaning supplies, as well as prescription medication if applicable. Begin to stock up on non-perishable foods. Aim for simple, shelf-stable items such as canned goods, which include vegetables, beans, soups, and other items. Stock up on rice, pasta and oats, peanut butter, canned meats, and shelf-stable milk or alternatives. Nothing extreme, just enough to avoid last-minute grocery runs if prices jump or shelves get picked over. Please have basic emergency or backup items, not because something will happen, but because it's smart to have. This includes flashlights with extra batteries, portable phone chargers, a hand crank or battery-powered radio, and a basic first aid kit. This is optional but also helpful. Please get walkie-talkies for short, medium, or even long-distance communications, and power banks for devices. As far as storage and preservation, keep it simple, not complicated. If you're storing extra food, keep the items in a cool, dry place. Use airtight containers when possible. Mylar bags coupled with silica or desiccant packets are great for long-term storage, but not required for most people. Focus on rotation. Use what you buy, replace as you go. As far as gas and fuel, keep it practical. Try to keep your tank at least half full and avoid waiting until empty in case prices spike or lines form. If storing fuel, use approved containers only. Keep it in a well-ventilated, safe area away from heat. Do not overstore. Just a small, reasonable backup is needed. The mindset I want you guys to have is that this is not about stockpiling or reacting in fear. It's about avoiding higher prices later, reducing stress if things shift quickly, and giving yourself breathing room. You do not need to panic. You don't need to rush or overwhelm yourself. And just having a few essentials now can save you money and stress later. Stay calm, stay aware, stay prepared. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments. I will do my absolute best to respond, and I may even make a follow-up video addressing any questions. Please make sure that you are following me for more updates, as well as engaging with my content so it pops up on your For You page more frequently. My name is Viola, and if you found this video helpful, then please feel free to share this with others who may need the information as far as what's going on in the world or how to begin prepping. I pray that you all have a fabulous day and that something good happens to you. Thank you for watching.
I'm a prepper, and here's a list of things you should be preparing for in case you live under a rock. How to prepare for these is already on my page. Everybody's going to prep differently. Long-term unemployment, localized cyber attacks by Iran, power outages, cutting your own power, rapidly rising energy costs in our country. People are already talking about cutting their own power over the summer to save money on their utility costs. Rolling blackouts due to AI data centers' increased power usage. Energy crisis from the war in Iran can also cause rolling blackouts. Sustained food price hikes and food shortages from diesel fuel and jet fuel price increases, even farm labor shortages from the mass deportations. You're going to start seeing shortages in social safety programs, especially those provide nutrition assistance. Shortages of the supplies, but also because the increased number of people who will be relying on those safety nets. Water shortages and water restrictions from extreme weather from climate change and AI data centers sucking up all of our municipal water. Rural hospitals are closing, so I would also prepare for longer drives to bigger hospitals if you live in rural areas, and longer waits once you get there. Prices for healthcare are going to go up to make up for the people who aren't able to pay for them. Foreclosures are on the rise and evictions are up. Possibly prepare to, if you're able to, open your home or a part of your home or your land to help house somebody in need. If you live in an area where you might be able to say, hey, I have this space that you can put a camper and use my bathrooms indoors, that's something that you can start preparing for now. You don't need to just prepare for your own survival or for your own comfort. You can also start to prepare to help others. There's going to be a lot more extreme weather events, especially as we're heading into the warmer season here. It's especially important that you start to prepare for air quality issues, internet outages, banking disruptions, or possibly not having access to your cash immediately. Scams and frauds on the rise. Be prepared in that you know and expect that they're coming, but also talk to your parents, your grandparents. Civil unrest and protests. A lot of our infrastructure is crumbling around us, so be prepared for localized infrastructure failures. This could be something as simple as making sure that your gas tank doesn't get below a certain point in case you need to take a different route. Prepare for a fertilizer shortage if you use it for your business, or if you're able to buy some canned or frozen goods now. Utility shutoffs are going to be on the rise. Stay tuned for more.
Ooh, Lord, excuse my hair, but I just had to hop on here and say this. I'm hearing a lot of apocalyptic talk and when we gonna get hit and what we gonna do after, and go bags, bug out bags, all this preparation, basic essentials, eating out of canned goods, electric blankets. Listen, if any Walking Dead fans out there, I know y'all remember season 1 where that black lady was in that lab and she had told the scientists, press the button. Because that's me. Press the button. Take me out of my misery. I'm not about to sit here and be making skunk meat. Somehow he's making skunk meat and eating beans every day. That's not a life. Apocalyptic. What are you going to do after it hit? Okay.
You want to stockpile, but you have no clue what to get. I'm going to give you a couple of items that you can go get right now, and it will last you for like a long period of time. This is what I mean when I'm telling you to get your rice. This is a jasmine rice. This is the one that I use at home. This is 25 pounds, and I'm going to pay $22.98. But if you're looking for a more cheaper version of it, you guys can get the regular long rice for $11.48 for 25 pounds. So basically, you guys can get 2 of these basically for the price of the one that I normally will buy. You'll be having 50 pounds. Dry beans, I got you. This is 12 pounds of black beans, MAP protein, and this one costs $10.68. Two of those will last a long time. You guys can get canned veggies, basically in bulk, but you can get them cheaper somewhere else as well. We're not thinking about name brand stuff here. We want to survive. Do you love baked beans? This is a big ass 7-pound can for $8.58, and if you want to preserve it, you can can these ones. You can use mason jars and you can seal them, and it will last you for a long time. And because we don't know if the power grid might be affected at any given time, and you want to get milk products, get yourself some powdered milk. You know, like the ones that they used to give us in Puerto Rico. Just add water and listo, you got milk. And you can use it for cereal, for baking, for everything. It is powder milk. You see these ones right here? That yard, sorry honey, cost you $9.98. Pears, $10.48. But if you know how to use your brain, you can start canning at home and you can get the actual fruit and start doing it yourself, which is way better flavor and it's way more healthier than those. And it's cheaper. If you're gonna get cereal, make sure that you get cereals that expires years from the day that you're buying it. How do you know? If it's dirt cheap, means it's about to expire soon. So you don't want quantity, you want quality. You want to buy honey because you can use it for baking, you can use it to sweeten your stuff. Plus the property on the honey can help you with a whole bunch of things. And please make sure the ingredient says just plain honey, and that will last you for years on your shelf at home. Even if the container says that expires in 2 years, don't think about that. It will last you way longer than that. Because when it crystallizes, you just have to warm it up and you got regular smooth honey again. Protein bars are also good to have. And if you're like me, you need coffee. More coffee. And if you have kids, you can literally buy this much freaking pancake mix for only $7.75. And to preserve that, you can just get those big food graded containers with lids, and you can preserve it for years. And this is just me, but I will get yourself some dark chocolate because you might need them. You could also get oatmeal in bulk. Again, as long as you have food graded containers, you can preserve all of those grains for long periods of time at home. That will last you a long time. And it's only $6.58, especially if you have kids. Did I forget to mention to get water? You know, water. You could also buy lard. Better than cooking oil. But you could also use coconut oil, which is way healthier. Another thing that I encourage people to get is flour. You can buy the food graded containers and you can preserve that flour for long periods of time. So why do I need flour so much? Well, let me tell you, you guys can make bread, you guys can bake cake, you guys can do a whole bunch of things with flour. By the way, don't limit yourself in the stuff that I'm showing you. You get whatever you want. Just make sure it's food that you guys will eat and that it will last you for a long period of time.
Scientists have predicted a massive water and food shortage to come ahead due to a mass drought, meaning there is not enough fresh water for the crops, and it's also a bigger indication and risk for us globally, and it's being like swept under the rug. What they are saying is that just weeks before the summer begins, western parts of the United States are facing a severe water drought, meaning that the crops are exceptionally dry and not producing enough food, along with basically drying out the water supply and making a water shortage crisis. Multiple state problem where they produce a mass amount of our food, as well as where they produce and need fresh water to just simply water crops and stop from us basically starving. There is no coincidence that at the same time this is happening, there is a massive uprising in AI data centers. Calling this a water scarcity and food scarcity, and they're intertwined with agriculture using mostly fresh water globally at 72%. Saying water availability and quality are declining due to climate, pollution, and overuse, while freshwater resources per person have dropped to 20%. Projecting 1.1 billion people to have a lack of access in water, and 2.7 billion experience water scarcity now, and in the upcoming months it will turn into food scarcity because water running dry means crops can't feed. I 100% think this is the problem. A single conversational AI inquiry can consume a bottle of water every 5 to 50 interactions. Global AI demand could drive 4.2 to 6.6 billion cubic meters of water withdrawal, threatening to worsen water scarcity. All these billionaires are getting rich, they're literally drying out the crops and they're drying out the food.
Is anyone else doing some low-key prepping because of how crazy the world is? I haven't built a bunker or anything, but if the infrastructure were to break down right now, like an EMT turned off all the power, I could have water for a long time. I got some of those cool little life straws, and I got a thing that'll start fires, and I got some books, so I could trap animals now and know how to do some other things like that, but I'd still be doomed at the moment. But I'm going to keep adding to it a little at a time just in case. Has any of the non-prepper people out there started being just a little bit prepper?
Okay, I know the gas price is an issue. Definitely an issue, for sure, for sure. But I also need y'all to be paying more attention to, you feel me? Because what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, it's not just oil and gas, you feel me? Now, my people that be updated, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But get this around, share this and shit to your peoples and your family and your loved ones that don't be, the ones that don't do politics. You know what I'm saying? Because if y'all think the gas prices done got people attention, once we realize that the fertilizer not coming because the strait closed, you feel me? And once they realize them farmers is telling people like, hey man, about 5 months it's gonna be a food shortage because it ain't no fertilizer. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's why we gotta continue to make videos. I don't care if 1,000 people see you, gotta keep making videos and content and getting it around, because you know you gotta share to keep people aware. But with that being said too, the Strait of Hormuz, like, I feel like we need to talk about that. Like, bruh, me being anti-government, our government, and the blue country government, it makes me anti-government, period. Like, I sympathize with the people of Iran, Lebanon, all that, even Sudan, you feel me? But I'm speaking specifically on the Strait of Hormuz right now. So I'm here for the people in Iran, but the government, I don't know if they corrupt or not, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I don't trust higher ups. You feel me? I just don't trust them. You feel me? So bam, what's the real reason? This is for my people who get deeper than the meaning, who not on surface level. Why is we really in the strait? What's really going on? You got the Lego videos coming out, like all this shit seems real American and real. You feel me? Just it seemed like a motherfucking psyop, bruh. And then look, right? We going to the moon in the middle of the phone with actors. Like, bro, what the fuck going on, bro? Like, somebody really, like, tell me. Because, and then, look, you see how right there, I just gave y'all hella other topics. You probably already forgot that I was talking about there's going to be a food shortage because the motherfucking fertilizer ain't coming because the strait closed.
Hi, these are some of the things that I bought early last year to prepare for what's currently happening in the United States and how much worse it's going to get. This isn't everything that I have because obviously everything that I have is not your business. But this is just to help people know where to start if they do want to start getting things to prepare. A little late, I'm not gonna lie, especially because, you know, our last round of gas and oil just came through. But let's get into it. Number 1, electric water filter. Number 2, this is a radio, flashlight, and like 2 other things. It also has like a little solar panel. Yeah. Number 3, survival meals. This one's creamy Alfredo pasta. I have not tried one of these because they're strictly just for when shit hits the fan. Number 4, a ton of seeds, specifically heirloom seeds. I have fruits, vegetables, herbs, all types of flowers, all types of peppers. I try to get as much as I could of everything I could think of. I also bought a safe, and these aren't items, but I also switched over to a credit union bank, and I make sure to take out cash from every source of my income, just a little bit here and there to prepare. So yeah, I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments what you guys are doing if you feel comfortable sharing. But yeah, let's buckle up, America.
Prepping is a privilege, and y'all out here fear-mongering and scaring people, telling them, well, you need 6 months of food saved up. Who got 6 months of food saved up? Most people don't have 6 days worth of food. They don't have 6 hours worth of food. People are living day to day. You can't expect them to starve today to have food for tomorrow. That's not how it works. Then I saw somebody say you need to have $1,000 cash at all times. Please tell me where somebody's gonna get $1,000 cash to have at all times when they barely got $10 to buy this high-ass gas. All y'all are doing are scaring people and stressing people out. I fully believe in being prepared, but all these lists and stuff, now I'm all for having a few extras, but nobody is really going to be able to afford to have 6 months of food that they can't touch. No, they're going to eat it because they're hungry now. And then y'all are telling people, leave the country, get a passport. All that takes money. All of that takes money. It's not realistic. It's not. And all this does is stress people. Yeah, we're in unprecedented times, but we still have to live for today. As just to show us we wake up in the morning, the light bill is still going to be due. Just stop it. Y'all want to get engagement. Y'all, it's too much. It is too much.
A very important thing about prepping is sometimes some people will be like, oh, all these people will be prepping for doomsday. What if something bad doesn't happen? I feel like it's not a waste for you to, be buying some stuff to prep, because even if something bad doesn't happen, like, this is still yours. You can use it, like, that's just it. You just have extra that will last you for long.
Are you guys prepared? All right, let's look at a couple of things I've recently gotten to prep. At these water-resistant pouches, so for phones, there's a small one, a medium one, and a large. The largest is a 10 by 13 inch. Smallest is a 5 by 7.5. So that's that. Fire starters, tape, Ollie's Find, crank radio, which probably needs to come out, be charged and be cranked. Work on it, but it has a carabiner, also charger. There's a lot of stuff, and a stockpile and all of that we do. So yeah, wool socks. I grabbed these from Ollie's also while I was there. I grabbed some. These are just garden gloves, but I figured I didn't have any gloves in the big kit, so I needed to just add a pair. So I grabbed those from the Dollar Tree. Plastic utensils. You guys are on the rotating charger thing. And then these are some rinse-free bath sponges, and I dropped the towels. Hold on. Okay, then these are towels. A canister. You can keep hot, use this. Has a strap and a handle. Those two are our jump box thing. Essential oils are always good to have, so we have peppermint and tea tree oil, which is good for bug repellent, and different rashes. It's an anti-inflammatory or anti-something. I'm gonna have to look it up. So these are always fun. It's solar, but you can also charge it, and it's just a light, and it flashes. Emergency one. So these we have throughout the house. So when we do lose power, normally due to weather emergencies, there's a source of light in the normal rooms, because every time we lose power for weather, it always takes the kids a minute. They're always trying to flip on a light. So just having these everywhere has been fun, and they recharge with solar also, and it's hanging. This was our crank fan and things. And also, I forgot to show y'all, this was the one from the other day. You can set it like this too, so that the fan is going if you're not using the light portion. Okay. We do have these also. So these we put in like the bathrooms or rooms. This one I need to put a new battery in. So these are really cool, just to flip on, flip off, so everywhere. So like in the kitchen, in a drawer, in a closet, bathrooms, everywhere. So you don't have to look for them when you need them. Also, activated charcoal is a good item to have in your, just in general, in your emergency. But this one is for the emergency kit, not the medicines. Get a magnifying glass, so I had to go pick. I don't know if you guys remember when I had my survival kit advent calendar items. It came with this bag, so all those items I just threw in here. But all of this stuff now needs to go in the emergency kit tub. So that was just the things that are on top. This will be a really long video. I guess we'll consider this a series, and I'll go through these things and give some suggestions and point out what I have. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions. Bye.
Every time I say this to people, I get a lot of pushback. I get told that I'm fear-mongering. I get told that I am all types of things, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I think it's really important. Please have an emergency bag in your house. please have, I'm not home right now, obviously, but I have the hand crank, flashlight, and generator. So if need be, I could charge any device that I have. Order one. I don't care where the fuck you get it from. Just get one. Have a knife at the very least. Have like a blanket in your trunk if you have a car. Have a quick change of clothes on the ready. Be prepared. And every time I say it, I get called a fearmongerer, but the reality is, look around. I don't think that y'all know that this can and will get much worse. In fact, people like me and many of my mutuals have been saying this for ages, that it was going to come here, and it's actually not over. Oh, God, I hate to even do it. Please have an emergency kit in your house, at the very least. Oh, a first aid kit too. I have a first aid kit everywhere I go. I don't know, some people call me extra for that too. I have one in my trunk right now. I have one in my house. I'll probably pack that in the emergency bag that I'm about to put together another one. Have water too. Have an emergency kit. It can can get much worse. And have a planned, a designated meeting area for you and your family. One here domestically, one international. I'm not going to tell y'all where to go, and I'm not going to say why. Have all your documents on the ready. I have all of my documents prepared, ready to go. I know exactly where they are, and if I need to grab them in a rush, I have them prepared. And I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I'm not Madam Cleo, but I can tell you that it is necessary to have right now. Please, if you listen to anything I say, get a fucking emergency kit. Jesus. Just in case, because anything can happen. We live in a global boiling time period. You need to be prepared for whatever could come. Please and thank you. And fill up your gas tank. And that's a drag to me too. Fill up your goddamn gas tank if you have a car, in case you need to be ready to go.
9 items that do not expire that you should add to your stockpile for when shit hits the fan. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie, and I help families just like yours prep food, water, and other essential supplies for any kind of emergency. And I've compiled a list for you guys of 9 items and their uses that have an indefinite shelf life. And whether you're new or you're an expert, I know you're gonna learn something from this. Coming in at number 1, activated charcoal. It can be used for digestive health, to alleviate gas, bloating, and indigestion by absorbing toxins and gases in the intestinal tract. It can be used for emergency toxin removal. Yes, it's the same thing they use in the emergency room to treat poisoning and overdoses. It can be used for water filtration. It removes impurities, contaminants, and odors from drinking water. It also absorbs chemicals, chlorine, pesticides, and other pollutants. It can be made into a paste and applied to insect bites, and to treat poison ivy and poison oak rashes. It can also be added to a detox bath. Number 2, honey. Honey is an amazing item to add to your stockpile with an indefinite shelf life. It can crystallize over time, but can still be used. It can be used to ferment mead, sweetening food and beverages, and because it possesses antibacterial properties, it can be used in a plethora of home remedies, like adding it to teas, or fermenting garlic to make natural antibiotics, or fermenting onion to make a natural cough syrup. It soothes coughs and sore throat, can be applied to cuts to inhibit infection and promote healing. And it can boost energy and immunity because of its antimicrobial and antioxidant properties. Number 3 is salt. Other than the obvious enhancing flavor of dishes, it's used a lot in food preservation, like curing meats, pickling, and brines. You can use it as an abrasive cleaner for scrubbing surfaces, and even for first aid by making it into a saltwater solution to clean wounds or to gargle for a sore throat. Number 4 is distilled white vinegar. It's great for cleaning and disinfecting. It softens and reduces static when doing laundry. You can use it as a pickling solution for veggies, and it even has a lot of first aid uses, like treating bug bites and even funguses like athlete's foot. Number 5 is going to be your pure ethanol alcohol or high-proof spirits, like whiskey, vodka, and rum. You can use these alcohol as disinfectants on surfaces and on the skin to kill germs and bacteria. Think hand sanitizer. To clean wounds, but most importantly, to make extracts and tinctures, which are really easy and very effective. If you want, I can make another video on that. Number 6 is one that I don't see often, and I think everybody should have on hand. And that's bentonite clay. It has an indefinite shelf life like all the rest on the list. It's used a lot in skincare, and it's great for detox baths. When you're sick, it draws the toxins out of your body. It's great for wound healing, oral care. You can make your own toothpaste with it. You can use it as a poultice to draw out toxins, reduce inflammation, and promote healing of sprains and bruises. You can also use it to make a natural deodorant, use it to amend your soil, use it for sunburn relief, even as a natural pesticide in the garden to deter pests. Pests like ants, aphids, beetles. You can even use it as a food poisoning remedy. It'll bind to the toxins in your digestive tract and help you eliminate them. All right, this video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna make a part 2. If you've learned something from this video so far, please support me by giving me a like and a share. Or if I missed any of their uses, go ahead and add it to the comments.
And while we are distracted by everything that is happening on social media, please be prepared. Start saving seeds, start storing water, start storing non-perishable food items, start getting a little 2 pound of rice and stuff like that, because we are going to need it. There's going to be a phase. We don't know how long it's going to last for. And we just need to start preparing ourselves for this economic crisis. I don't know if you guys are listening or even watching, but this is not the big C that happened back then. It is the big G, gas, the big O, oil, and it is going to cost a lot more catastrophe than the big C did. And this impact is going to be felt at the beginning of summer. Please start preparing your household.
Okay, you guys, I did Dollar Tree emergency prep today. A little bit of a different video, but let me show you everything I got. I got 2 packs of these tea light candles. You can use these for light, for heat, and for cooking. To use them for cooking, you could take 4 to 6 of them and put them in a tray like this. You know, spread it out and put a wire rack on top and then put your pot on top. Or you can put them in the cupcake tins and put 1 in every cupcake tin, and then you don't need the wire rack. You can just put it on top. Or you can put it in the brownie tin, put the wire rack on top, and cook just like that. I got a couple different options for us. I also got the holders for the tea light candles, because if you're going to burn these for light, they burn for about 3 to 4 hours each. You can put them in the holders for the tea lights and place them around your house in the case of a blackout. Everything here was $1.25, except for these sternos were $2. And I would put them in these foil cans, put this on top, heat. So I would really use these for keeping food warm, and I would use these for making food. These lanterns are super duper bright. They were $1.50. Hold on, let me turn it on. So I don't know if you can see how bright this is, but it's adjustable. This could easily light up like 400, 500 square feet of your house, your entire living room and kitchen put together. So I got 2 of those, and then I got 3 sternos. I got some matches, some super glue, beef tallow, and these heavy duty gloves. I got 2 packs of these because I just feel like that's self-explanatory. So this is all I got for my Dollar Tree prep so far. Yeah, everything here is $1.50 or less, except for these sternos, which were $2. You can actually make yourself some. If you save your tuna can, put cardboard and then candle wax and then light it on fire. It'll be the same DIY as this, but I just bought some anyway. So yeah.
What do you mean that there's a fertilizer crisis, and what does this mean for the average person? Well, first of all, let's discuss it. Fertilizer is actually a major export out of the Strait, which was cut off for over 7 weeks. Fertilizer is mandatory for growing your food. Yes, I said it. It's mandatory. This is not an alternative process. Maybe if you have a small, tiny farm, but we are talking major farming industries are going to be affected. Now, when I say it's a crisis, originally it was about $350 per ton of fertilizer. For instance, nitrogen, $350. Currently, right now, most farmers are being faced with a crisis around $600 to $1,000 per ton. So you're talking a 75% chance increase on said items. What do you mean you're telling us to prep? Well, they're comparing this crisis to pretty much World War I, 1919 wheat shortage crisis. So if you're not stocking up on your wheat berries, wheat, growing more food, then you're already setting yourself up to be behind the curve. You are currently at the grocery stores buying last year's yield. Next year, it's going to be worse.
So I'm not making this video to scare anyone or tell you that shelves are about to go empty tomorrow. Like, that's not the point of the video. That's not the message I'm trying to send. And I get that things like this could, like, when people hear things like, oh, prepping, it kind of scares them. But it's just that with the rising grocery prices, supply chain issues, you know, popping up from time to time, and that's just things that has just been happening a lot, and the general economic uncertainty, I feel like more people are choosing to just, like, you know, stay prepared instead of being caught off guard. Like, that's the main point. Preparedness doesn't really have to mean extreme stockpiling. For most families, it can simply mean, you know, just having a small backup of essentials you already use. This like little prep could actually help you avoid when people do that panic buying, when people are running, like, you know, everywhere trying to get things all at once. I mean, if you've experienced it, you know what it's like. So it's better to just do it when everything is calm, you're clear-headed, you can just, you know, pick what you can, and that's if you have the money for it, really. And a lot of people aren't necessarily buying these items because they expect a major crisis. You know, they're buying them, you know, because prices keep changing. And that's just a big part of it. And buying a little extra now can sometimes save you money later. And the reason why people focus on shelf-stable foods are because they last a long time and can stretch meals during tighter financial periods. And sometimes, honestly, this prepping situation is not even for disaster scenarios, like, oh, we're waiting for a disaster or like an apocalyptic situation happening. It's just about, sometimes it could actually be protecting your budget, you know. If you lose income unexpectedly, have reduced work hours, or face higher bills, having food and essentials at home can create breathing room. Of course, everyone's situation is absolutely different, so don't go into debt trying to stockpile or buy things you will never use. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I thought I should ask, are you currently prepping more than usual, or do you really think that people are overreacting after watching this video? Just let me know what you think about this video in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. And hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.